Okay, well, I'm getting on with the repairs, the cleaning. So here's the piccolo and the flute clean, but none of the mechanical or the shimming work done yet. It looks pretty, but now on to the important deal. So when I took the piccolo steel rod off, the keys would not move. So part of a COA is to remove all of the tiny little pins, and pins are these things that hold the mechanism in place. See that? The danger of not having a flute or piccolo worked on every single year is more than it doesn't make a pretty sound. I'm going to show you now the mechanical reason. Underneath, it was really hard to get this off. There's rust that develops here because the oil completely evaporates, and when there's no oil, there's no lubrication for the steel. And when there's no lubrication, see, this can't move at all. This whole thing needs to come off, but let me show you what's welding this together. You ready? That. It's like a tar. It's worse than tar because perhaps a few years ago, whenever it completely dried out, there's silver that rubs against this steel. And silver's softer than steel, so the silver dust will get in there and it'll grind and grind and grind and grind until this happens, until you cannot move these at all. They stop working. So I'm going to have to go in there and do some magic to unbind this. These should easily turn freely, the Trill 1 and Trill 2, and it's almost like welded on because it wasn't oiled for such a long time. So that's one little update. It shows you some of the finer details that go into this kind of work. All right, back to it. Oh my goodness. I finally got the piccolo trill stack off. That was seriously 4 days of work just on getting this off. Let's take a look at the steel on the inside. Look at that corrosion. It was just welded on like that. This is by far the hardest case I've ever come across. No oil is a very, very bad thing. Look at that, it's almost like coal. Wow, here. Okay, stay tuned. I've got to clean all of that gunk up. Okay, this is going to be gross. Let's take a look. Wapacha. Bum, bum, bum. I'll make sure it's thorough. A little bit more work to be done. Okay, now it's comparison. That's a steel. That's proper. All right, moment of truth. Finally, 4 days it took to get to this stage. But now, both the Haynes vintage 1960s flute and piccolo are in pristine condition. I had finished everything with the flute, reseated all the piccolo pads, and that was the last thing, which took 4 days, all on its own. The two serial numbers are one number apart from each other. 1960. Amazing. Alrighty, time to rest.